call it abbreviations or all the short terms? What's it called? It's called, this is really random, but I'm gonna help you. I'm not proud right now, the fact that I know what I know. All right, I'm gonna break down and decode for you all of the abbreviations you see on the internet, all the fertility and trying to conceive, trying to fall pregnant. I'm looking at my phone because a post came up, and anyway, it's all of the abbreviations for all of the fertility language. It is a whole nother world, and if you listen to my videos, you'll hear some of the abbreviations and you will be confused. You will not be confused if you're from this world, and it's unfortunate when I say it's unfortunate if you understand all of this language, because it probably means that you have been trying to conceive for a while, or you might be from the IVF world, and every forum, how to explain? All the online forums, lots of the websites, social media accounts, anything to do with trying to conceive, people that have been trying for a while, this lingo, these abbreviations will be everywhere. And years ago when I was reading stuff, I'd be like, what does this mean? And now, not proud of myself, but I know all of the abbreviations. And I'm not proud because there's so much more in life that I could be better at knowing. But unfortunately, this is a language that I now know, like I can just read it and know straight away. So I'm gonna break it down for you, because if you are new, you would be so confused by all of the language out there. Let me have a sip of water and we're gonna go through them. I saw this post and I'm gonna put this post up on the screen. You can see where this post came from. It's got the account tagged on there. All right, let's go through them. Ready? Okay. Now, I'm just gonna tell you, I can't believe this, but I knew all of these except for one. There was only one on here that I didn't know, and it's probably because I'm not a man. It's got to do with sperm. So ready? Let's go. We've got DPO, days post-ovulation. BFP, big fat positive. That's for your pregnancy test. A big fat positive is BFP. DPT, days post-transfer. FET, frozen embryo transfer. CD, cycle day. That's your cycle day. So in the IVF world and trying to conceive world, day 0 is the day you get your period. I hope I'm not saying any of this wrong, but it counts from day 0 and then it counts that way. So your cycles. So I normally have a 28-day cycle. At the moment, I don't really have a regular period, so I have a 100-day cycle. Anyway, most ladies have around like 28 to 35 days. Everyone is fully different. Or if you're like me, you're not getting a period at the moment. EWCM, egg white CM, egg white cervical mucus. EWCM, it's a certain type of, I don't even like saying the word, even though I talk heaps about bodily functions. EWCM is what you look for. There's a certain type that you look for in your fertile days. Let's keep going. FRER, first response early result. These are a type of pregnancy test which are so freaking bad for indent lines. These tests are super sensitive, so they are awesome. You can detect the pregnancy hormone super early, like 5-6 days before your missed period, but they are so bad because they are really sensitive. But if you have the slightest amount of HCG in your system, it will show up, or it can show indent lines, which is so confusing because you think that you're pregnant, which it's terrible if you're having a lot of chemical pregnancies, which is what I used to have. You're pregnant, but it's just your levels aren't high enough, and with natural killer cells, your body tries to kill off the embryo. Anyway, long story, we won't go there. All right, HCG, that's the pregnancy hormone, Which HCG, no one says this. Like you'll see HCG a lot everywhere. Even when you go for your blood test for pregnancy, it'll say HCG on the pathology slip. Human chorionic, I can't even say the word properly. So HCG. ICSI, ICSI. ICSI is a certain type of IVF. I don't know as well how to say the full term. It's another big medical scientific term. That is where instead of with IVF, there's just plain IVF where they put their egg in a little dish and then they put some sperm and let them swim around and find the egg itself. Okay, so that's where natural selection, whoever's the toughest will make it. ICSI is what they use for male factor infertility a lot, where they will find the strongest sperm and then they will get that sperm and inject that one tiny little sperm into the egg. So that way the sperm doesn't even have to do any work at all. So that's ICSI. A lot of people do ICSI for IVF. I've done ICSI. I wouldn't want to do the normal one because, yeah, I would rather just do ICSI. You're paying all that money, just implant that egg. HPT, home pregnancy test. OPK, ovulation predictor kit. I've used way too many of those. BD, baby dance. That's what another word that they use for sex, intercourse, making love. POAS, pee on a stick. That's another word for have you tested, like for pregnancy test. Pee on a stick. OHSS, I've had that a couple of times with my stimulation cycles. Just so I don't say it wrong, it's ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. That's what I've been calling it. I always think of occupational health and safety, but it's OHSS. BFN is big fat negative with your pregnancy test. We do not want BFN. AF, aunt flow, aka period, menstrual cycle. So a lot of the time people say day 1 of AF. SA was the only one that I didn't get and I actually had to look up. Semen analysis, SA. TTC, trying to conceive. FMU, first morning urine. That's the wee that you want to use for your test. The tests usually for pregnancy tests normally work best for your first morning urine, because if you haven't gone to the toilet for a while, the hormone is meant to build up a little bit. So a lot of the tests will say to do first morning urine, but if you're really pregnant, it doesn't matter. You can test any time of the day. EPU, egg pickup, egg retrieval, day of your egg pickup. Half of these are trying to conceive terms. Half of these are IVF terms. MF, male factor infertility. IUI is, I don't want to say this. IUI is, a lot of people try IUI before they do IVF because it's less invasive. There's no surgery. IUI is when they shoot the sperm basically straight up into the uterus through the cervix, but it costs a lot less than IVF and it's not invasive. There's no egg retrieval or anything, but I know that the chances aren't as high. I've never done an IUI. I wouldn't waste my money doing that because my body just wouldn't have any chances. IUI stands for intrauterine insemination. A lot of people try IUI like before they start doing IVF, and then once that doesn't work, then they move to IVF. LH, luteinizing hormone. That is a hormone that plays a part in ovulation. FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. So I hope I'm not wrong, but FSH is, I really hope I'm not going to say this wrong. In IVF, the medications, it's an artificial way. I'm not going to say this right, so do not come at me. I am not a fertility specialist, but The stimulation medication works as like an FSH, a follicle stimulating hormone, because it builds up your follicles and makes them mature for fertilization, leading up to your egg retrieval, or your EPU, your egg pickup. Oh my gosh, you're almost there. So PUPO, PUPO, pregnant until proven otherwise. A lot of women will say they are PUPO on day of their transfer. So then, which leads into the last abbreviation, which is TWW, 2-week wait. And I've spoken about that before on my other videos. 2-week wait is the worst. So you're actually PUPO until the end of your 2-week wait. Okay, so then you will do your test with your first morning urine on your FRER, which is your first response early result. Anyway, the 2-week wait is actually the worst. The worst. And then at the very end, it says, if you know, you know. And I don't even use these short terms, but when I saw if you know, you know, it's true, because if you know, you know. But this video is for people that don't know all of these abbreviations, because when you're going into this world, and unfortunately, it's like, I know that there's another quote about this, but it's a club that you don't want to be in. Yeah, where's that? I really should find that quote. It's like the club that nobody asked to be in. But yeah, this trying to conceive, fertility club. Yeah, hopefully this helps you out, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Nice short video. Hopefully I'll see you guys in another week. I'm really trying my best. What else? Oh, I was going to answer some questions about products that I use. I was talking before in my last video about how I don't use, there's a fly there and it's so distracting. Anyway, in my next video, what is that? Every time I close this curtain, there's like a fly or something in there. Anyway, I'll try, sorry. In my next video, as I was saying, in my next video, I think I'll address some of the questions that were on my last video. I'll try to talk about some of the products I use that are fragrance-free and chemical-free. Yeah, some of the things that I do to have a chemical-free home. I'm gonna go because I'm hungry and I've got to go pick up my baby, and I've got to go to the supermarket, put petrol in the car, and do about 10 loads of washing. Yay for me. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. And I will see you soon. See ya.